Imagine stepping into water so crystal clear, you can see fish gliding beneath your feet as if floating in mid-air. From remote mountain lakes to tropical lagoons, the world hides pockets of purity where nature still feels untouched. In today's countdown, we're revealing 10 destinations with the clearest waters in the world. Places where you can swim, snorkel, or simply stare in awe at the sheer transparency of nature. Whether you're a diver searching for adventure, a traveler chasing beauty, or just someone daydreaming about your next escape, this list will inspire you to pack your bags. Stick around until the very end, because number 1 isn't just jaw-dropping. It might completely change how you see the ocean. If you enjoy traveling with us, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss future countdowns. Ready to dive in? Let's begin. Number 10. The Maldives. Our journey begins in the heart of the Indian Ocean. The Maldives, a chain of over 1,000 coral islands spread across 26 atolls. If paradise had a blueprint, it would look like this. Endless turquoise lagoons, soft white sand beaches, and water so clear it feels like you're floating in the sky. Diving here is like stepping into another universe. Imagine swimming alongside manta rays, reef sharks, and technicolor parrotfish, all while sunlight pours through the surface like beams in an underwater cathedral. Visibility often stretches 50 meters. You don't just see the fish, you see the expressions on their faces. But there's more than natural beauty. The Maldives carries a fascinating cultural identity, shaped by centuries of Arab traders crossing the Indian Ocean. Its Islamic traditions, colourful festivals, and traditional boduberu drumming add a heartbeat to the islands beyond the resorts. Of course, paradise has challenges. The Maldives is one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change. Some islands sit less than a meter above sea level. And tourism, while vital for the economy, sometimes overshadows local culture. Budget-friendly tips. Skip the $1,000 per night over-water villas. Instead, stay in locally run guest houses on islands like Mafushi or Digura. You'll spend less, support local families, and get a more authentic glimpse of Maldivian life. Use public ferries instead of private speedboats or seaplanes. Yes, it takes longer, but you'll save hundreds. And you'll see more of daily island life along the way. And here's a relatable thought. In the Maldives, going to the office means strapping on fins and a snorkel. Imagine explaining that in a Zoom meeting. Number 9. Crater Lake, USA. Number 9 takes us far from tropical beaches to the rugged wilderness of Oregon, where Crater Lake proves that crystal clear waters aren't just found in the tropics. This lake was formed over 7,000 years ago when Mount Mazama, a massive volcano, erupted and collapsed, leaving behind a deep, water-filled caldera. Today, it's the deepest lake in the United States, plunging nearly 600 meters. What makes it extraordinary is its purity. No rivers flow in or out, meaning the water is fed entirely by rain and snow. On calm days, the clarity is surreal. You can see down over 40 meters. The lake reflects surrounding cliffs and pine forests so perfectly that standing at the rim feels like peering into a mirror of the sky. For the Klamath people, the lake is sacred. Their oral traditions describe a battle between the sky god Skell and the underworld god Lau, a mythic clash that shaped the land and gave Crater Lake its mystical aura. This isn't a year-round destination. Heavy snow closes the main road for much of the year, often until late June. And don't expect to find bustling villages nearby. This is remote wilderness, and food options are limited. Budget tips. Visit in summer when the rim road is fully open, and bring a picnic. Trust me, sandwiches taste better when eaten 2,000 meters above sea level. Lodging inside the park is limited and pricey, so stay in nearby towns like Klamath Falls or Medford, where you'll find budget motels. Fun fact, Crater Lake is home to a mysterious floating log, nicknamed the Old Man of the Lake. It's been bobbing vertically in the water for over 100 years. So if you spot a ghostly log drifting past, don't panic. It's just a very patient piece of wood. Number 8. Lake Pukaki, New Zealand. At number 8, we travel to New Zealand's South Island, where Lake Pukaki offers a different kind of clarity, one that feels almost unreal. Fed by meltwater from nearby glaciers, the lake glows with an otherworldly turquoise color thanks to something called rock flour. These are ultra-fine particles of ground-up rock carried down by glaciers, suspended in the water and scattering sunlight. The result? A color so vivid it looks like a digital filter. Only this one's 100% natural. Standing on the shoreline, you'll see the Southern Alps rising in the distance, dominated by Aoraki Mount Cook, New Zealand's tallest peak. Culturally, the area is tied to Maori heritage. Aoraki is more than just a mountain. It's a revered ancestor in Ngaitahu tradition, known as the Cloud Piercer. Local legends say Aoraki and his brothers were stranded here, turning into stone and forming the Southern Alps. Lake Pukaki is remote and largely undeveloped. You won't find flashy resorts or bustling towns, but that's the charm, raw beauty without the crowds. Budget tips: embrace freedom camping in designated areas. Park your campervan right by the water and wake up to some of the best views on Earth, for free. Instead of eating out, stock up on fresh local produce and cook your own meals. The nearby town of Twizel is famous for its salmon farms, so grab some and make your own lakeside feast. Quirky advice: if you're a photographer, bring extra memory cards. Between the lake, the mountains, and the night skies, this region is part of a dark sky reserve. You'll take more photos than you ever thought possible. And don't be surprised if your friends accuse you of photoshopping. The colors really are that striking. Number 7. Exuma, Bahamas. Sliding into number 7, we're heading to the Caribbean, where the Exumas, a string of 365 islands and cays in the Bahamas, look like they were painted with every shade of blue imaginable. The waters here are so transparent that you can see stingrays gliding beneath your boat and starfish resting on the seabed, all without even dipping a toe in. At places like Thunderball Grotto, famous from the James Bond film Thunderball, shafts of sunlight pierce through cave openings, creating an underwater light show. But Exuma isn't just about clear water, it's about personality. Where else can you swim with pigs? Yes, the famous swimming pigs of Big Major Cay paddle out to greet visitors. No one knows exactly how they got there. Theories range from shipwrecks to farmers releasing them. But one thing's certain: they're the most photogenic pigs in the world. Historically, the Bahamas has roots in Lucayan culture, and later became a refuge for pirates like Blackbeard. Some cays still bear names linked to pirate lore, adding a dash of adventure to your snorkeling trip. The Exumas are not as cheap as they appear in travel posters. Flights can be pricey, and accommodation ranges from boutique villas to luxury resorts. Plus, hurricane season, June-November, can throw a wrench in travel plans. Budget hacks: fly into Nassau, then take a ferry to Exuma rather than a direct flight. It saves hundreds and adds a scenic boat ride to your journey. Stay in a vacation rental or guest house on Great Exuma instead of the luxury resorts. You'll still have access to those surreal beaches, minus the bill shock. And a funny note, the pigs may look adorable, but they also know tourists bring food. If you don't share, they'll give you the same look your dog does when you're eating pizza. Be prepared to be guilt-tripped by pigs. Number 6. Palawan, Philippines. Number 6 takes us to Southeast Asia's last frontier, the island province of Palawan in the Philippines. This is a place where limestone cliffs tower over jade-green lagoons, and where the water is so crystal clear, you'll feel like you're floating in liquid glass. Spots like El Nido and Coron have repeatedly been named among the most beautiful places on Earth. Snorkeling here reveals coral gardens, sunken Watu shipwrecks, and schools of neon-colored fish darting past like fireworks underwater. But Palawan isn't just scenery. It's also home to the Puerto Princesa subterranean river, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where you can paddle through a 5-mile-long underground river lined with dramatic cave formations. For locals, these waters are both a livelihood and a heritage. Fishing villages still dot the coastline, and traditional outrigger boats called bancas have been used here for centuries. Palawan's popularity means over-tourism is becoming a real issue. Some lagoons limit daily visitors to protect fragile ecosystems. And while development is booming, it sometimes comes at the cost of local communities and coral health. Budget hacks: visit in the shoulder seasons, April, May, or October, November, for cheaper rates and fewer crowds. Instead of staying in El Nido town, look for guest houses in nearby villages like Corong Corong, where you'll pay less and enjoy quieter sunsets. And here's something light. If you've ever dreamed of being in a screensaver, Palawan is basically the default desktop background that Windows forgot to use. You'll constantly catch yourself saying, "This doesn't look real." Number 5. Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Coming in at number 5, we're diving into the South Pacific jewel of Bora Bora, known as the Pearl of the Pacific. Bora Bora's lagoon is a kaleidoscope of blues, from pale turquoise at the shore to deep sapphire in the distance. The water clarity here is so astonishing that even from an airplane window, you'll spot coral gardens and reef sharks cruising the shallows. Framed by the dramatic volcanic peak of Mount Otomanu, Bora Bora feels like a postcard brought to life. Polynesian culture enriches the experience, from traditional tamure dances to feasts cooked in underground earth ovens. But let's be honest, Bora Bora also has a reputation for being pricey. Budget hacks. Skip the overwater villas and book a family-run pension, guest house. You'll still have beach access and warm Polynesian hospitality at a fraction of the cost. Stock up on groceries at local markets instead of eating at resort restaurants. Fresh tropical fruit and baguettes, a French influence, make for cheap, delicious meals. Number 4. Lake Tahoe, USA. At number 4, we're back in the United States, but this time straddling California and Nevada at Lake Tahoe, the largest alpine lake in North America. Known for its incredible clarity, Tahoe's waters were once measured at over 30 meters of visibility. Though clarity has declined slightly due to urban development, it's still dazzling. A pure, shimmering blue set against pine forests and snow-capped Sierra Nevada peaks. Tahoe has a cultural duality. In winter, it's a ski haven. In summer, it transforms into a water sports paradise where kayakers glide over transparent shallows that look almost too clean to be real. Tahoe is a victim of its own popularity. Weekends see traffic jams, crowded beaches, and rising prices for lodging. Climate change and runoff have also impacted the clarity that made it famous. Budget hacks. Visit on weekdays or shoulder seasons, late spring or early fall, for better deals and fewer crowds. Use public beaches like Sand Harbor instead of private marinas. You'll get the same clear waters for free. Tahoe's water is so clear, you might mistake it for a giant infinity pool, except no one's coming over to serve you a mojito. Number 3. Tesua Ocean Trench, Samoa. Number 3 brings us to one of the most unique swimming spots on Earth, the Tesua Ocean Trench in Samoa. Picture this. A natural sinkhole 30 meters deep, filled with crystal clear seawater connected to the ocean through lava tubes. Lush gardens surround the trench, and a wooden ladder descends into the pool like a gateway to another world. The clarity of the water is breathtaking. Swimming here feels like floating in a giant natural aquarium, except your fellow swimmers are more likely to be curious tropical fish than tourists. Culturally, Samoa is deeply rooted in Fa'a Samoa, the Samoan way of life. Respect for family, land, and tradition is woven into everything, from welcoming ceremonies to tattoo artistry. Visiting Tesua isn't just about swimming, it's about experiencing the hospitality of a community that has preserved its traditions for centuries. Samoa is off the main tourist trail, meaning fewer flights and less infrastructure than, say, Hawaii or Fiji. Budget hacks. Visit during local festivals to pair your trip with cultural immersion at no extra cost. Book family-run fails, beach huts, instead of hotels. They're affordable and give you an authentic taste of Samoan life. That ladder down into the trench is steep, and climbing it wet is a workout. So, technically you can say you got your cardio and your swim in one go. Number 2. Blue Lake, New Zealand. At number 2, we're back in New Zealand for something truly special. Blue Lake, or Rotomare Whenua, in Nelson Lakes National Park. Scientifically measured as having the clearest natural freshwater in the world, visibility here reaches up to 80 meters, almost like looking through air. The water glows with hues of sapphire and emerald, depending on the light, creating a surreal, meditative beauty. But here's the twist. Blue Lake is sacred to the Maori people. It is considered tapu, or sacred, meaning swimming or even touching the water is not permitted. Instead, visitors admire it from a respectful distance, which only enhances its aura of purity and serenity. Getting to Blue Lake requires a multi-day hike through rugged alpine terrain. It's not a place for casual day trippers, but for those willing to put in the effort, the reward is unmatched. Budget hack. If the hike is too ambitious, Nearby Lake Rotoiti offers accessible crystal-clear waters with stunning mountain views, and you can swim there. Camping in the park huts instead of hotels saves money and deepens the wilderness experience. And here's the joke: Blue Lake is so clear you'll want to cannonball into it. But remember, that's the one tourist activity you can't do here. Sometimes the best way to enjoy something is simply to leave it untouched. Number 1. Raja Ampat, Indonesia. And finally, number 1. The crown jewel of clear waters, Raja Ampat, Indonesia. Located off West Papua, Raja Ampat is a remote archipelago of over 1,500 islands, and it's considered the most biodiverse marine ecosystem on Earth. The clarity of the water, combined with pristine coral reefs, means snorkeling here feels like drifting through a living kaleidoscope, from sea turtles and manta rays to over 1,400 species of fish. Culturally, the islands are home to indigenous Papuan communities who've lived sustainably off the sea for generations. Many villages now run eco-homestays, blending tourism with conservation efforts. Getting here isn't easy. It requires multiple flights and a ferry, and costs can add up. But the remoteness is also what keeps the reefs healthy and the crowds minimal. Budget hacks. Skip luxury dive resorts and stay in local homestays. Simple wooden huts perched over the water, where your money directly supports conservation. Travel with a group to split the cost of boat transfers, which are one of the biggest expenses here. Raja Ampat's waters are so clear the fish might actually see you before you see them. It's like being the star of their underwater reality show. So there you have it. 10 destinations with the clearest waters in the world. From volcanic lakes in Oregon to turquoise lagoons in Bora Bora, and from sacred Maori waters to the untamed beauty of Raja Ampat, these places remind us of how magical and fragile our planet truly is. Crystal clear waters don't just give us postcard-perfect photos. They connect us with culture, history, and the importance of protecting these ecosystems for generations to come. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these spots would you visit first? Are you Team Tropical Lagoon or Team Alpine Lake? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing your travel dreams. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss our next adventure. We've got videos lined up on everything from hidden islands to the world's best food markets, so stay tuned. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep chasing those unforgettable views.